Hello viewers, welcome to another edition of your weekly State of Affairs program here on QTV, proudly sponsored by the Indian Institute of Hardware Technology, located on Kairaba Avenue. Well, this week tonight I am honored to host, a political heavyweight whose voice has echoed across the country's political landscape for over 2 decades. And from his time as the Minister of Tourism to his current role as the Minister of Lands, Religious Affairs, and of course, religious affairs and local government, Hamad Nkeba has, remained a central and often controversial figure in national discourse. But equally, as the leader of the National Reconciliation Party, that's NRP, he has been both a critic and a pillar of government. Where tonight we'll be looking at, some of the issues that he has to deal with during his term as the Minister of Tourism and Culture, and of course some of the reforms that are happening right now at the Ministry of Lands. But equally, we'll be looking into politics. Elections is coming up, alleged corruptions in the government. What does he think about all these allegations being labeled on the government of President Adama Barrow? Honorable, I am quite honored and grateful for you agreeing to be on the program at this time. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you for inviting me, Aliu, and thank you to the management of QTV.
Like I said, 7 years as Minister of Tourism and Culture. Many were surprised when they heard that the President had made a reshuffle and moved to the Ministry of Lands. Why that decision by the President?
Well, I think that's the President's own decision and opinion. I cannot but to say that, well, I think he's the President of the Republic and he owns all portfolios in government. He assigned them to people he deemed fit and sometimes may change from one portfolio to another, depending on what he wants and how he wants it and who he wants there at what time and when. So
were you surprised? Did it come as a surprise to you?
Yes, I was surprised that I was moved from tourism, as I said, because it was a job I loved so much. Okay. I fell in love with the job and I felt that it was something that I was very much in love with, yes. And
like I said, 7 years as Minister of Tourism, yet, this industry is still seasonal, overly dependent on, of course, people will say, European markets and all that. What will you look back as your biggest legacy in that role as Minister of Tourism?
Well, I think it is very important to say that as Minister of Tourism, when we came in 2017, you must understand that the industry was going through difficult times. It was the end of Ebola, and the industry was just about to start going out of Ebola. As you're aware that there was no Ebola in the Gambia, but Ebola was considered to be an African problem at the time. Although it was in Liberia and Sierra Leone, but the entire African continent was branded as Ebola-infested areas. So the Gambia was no exception, and we became victims of that Ebola. We lost our businesses, we went down massively. And then, of course, came the political impasse. The political impasse was no better. It became very difficult for us, and then we lost our markets, we lost a lot of tourists. And as a new government, it was important that we try to restore that difficult moment, restore our tourism back. And again, thirdly, we have a very bad image at the time. Internationally and nationally, we are not projected very positively in the international arena, particularly in various international markets who are partners of the Gambia. And we, as a government, it was important for us to restore our image abroad, which we succeeded in doing, and also to make sure that we restore our rivals, our numbers, and not only to bring back the numbers, but to improve on the numbers, which we were able to achieve significantly as rapidly as possible.
And what will you say, was your biggest or were your biggest failures?
Well, I think, to be honest with you, our biggest failure, as I always go to bed and remember, is our own inability to get those lodges built that we came as an idea to build these lodges in the country in our promotion of our domestic tourism. That's one of the things that I always believe that I go back and said it could have been done differently.
Will you take responsibility as a minister?
Oh yes, I always assume responsibility where it's necessary. I believe that I should have been involved as I got involved in the other projects, and leaving it too much to certain people without being involved was a mistake from my side, and I believe so.
And are you surprised that you have not been held accountable for the failure of those?
Well, I have been held accountable, of course, because I mean.
But you still remain in government as minister.
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, being accountable has a different ways. Yes, and I think, to be honest with you, ministry could have handled it differently with the Gambia Tourism Board.
So how were you held accountable? Because you said
well,
you were held accountable.
for letting them go through the process without the ministry being involved in that process of getting everything done.
You mean you weren't involved?
No, the ministry was not involved in the process of hiring the contractors and all the rest of it. So I think that's one thing that I will say, Rick, could have been done better.
But you laid the foundation stone for this project.
Well, yes.
So how comes you weren't involved?
That was the day I was cautioned and said, look, do you know this contractor? I said no. I said I was told you will live to regret. It will fail. These were the words of the president. He was very straightforward with me.
So what action did you take afterward?
We called the contractor. We told him exactly what the president told me. And I said, please, make sure that we succeed in this business and make sure that it doesn't fail. And he tried, but I think, to be honest with you, this is one thing I will always say, I wish I had known. It would not be done that way. It would have been done differently.
Yeah, because according to the auditors, during their review, they found that, the contract for the construct of these 5 lodges was meant to be completed by 2020.
It was meant to be completed. As I said, this is one thing I'll go back and say could have been done differently.
So what happened to the contractors in this case?
Well, we decided differently. After all, Cabinet came with proposals to continue, but I think there was a fire disaster. They continued the work. One of them was completed. The other one was almost 1/3 gone, but I think it's stalled till now. So I cannot tell the rest because I'm not there anymore.
But is it true that one of the contractors is no more in the country?
I'm not quite sure. I can't account for that.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because according to the auditors, there was a departure from the actual project concept of using less cement and steel to preserve ecosystem.
Yeah, I think there were some mistakes.
Especially at the Kunkeling site.
Yes, there were some mistakes. We must admit this. This is very important. That there were some mistakes in the whole process of implementation.
Do you regret?
Yes, I regret it. I wish it was working well. Today, people would have been going in the country as domestic tourists within the country. Better lodges, beautiful places, well designed. Yes.
And what lesson do you think the ministry?
In the ministry learned a lot. The ministry from there learned a lot. The president didn't take it lightly, and we make sure that all for the future projects we are involved in their procurement processes, and we succeeded in building the roads perfectly.
At some point, I understand, there was an initial plan to have the contractor prosecuted.
Well, I don't want to go into those details. I want to leave that. I'm not there now. I have to limit myself to what I've done, not the rest of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know, there were many issues, surrounding you. At some point, some staff of the GT board also sent.
Well, when you want to make a reform, you should expect resistance. And when resistance comes, every method will be used to frustrate it. But at the end of the day, you need to be determined and be steadfast and be committed to those reforms. The same reforms are what we are now carrying out at the Ministry of Local Government.
Yeah, because they said you were interfering too much in the work of the GT board.
It was not the case. We needed to reform the institution. We needed to reform, and we did reform, and we succeeded, and we moved forward. And that led us to getting the World Bank involved in the sector. And that led us to succeeding in getting $68 million grant for the sector. And that led us also to engage the EU for the current project that they are implementing with YEP. So the reforms were very important and very vital. When you are reforming, you face resistance, but you must be determined to make sure that you succeed in your agenda.
Do you regret taking certain action against those staff who were sent?
Well, I have no regret. I feel I did the right thing, and will repeat it again if need comes, anywhere.
Yeah, because according to the Parliament's petition committee, they recommended that you, the minister at the time, should not interfere or give directives to the chairman of the governing body.
That may be an opinion. That may be an opinion, but that's not the truth of what it should be as my mandate as a minister responsible of that portfolio.
and that the GT board was also giving you weekly fuel, you and the permanent secretary.
Well, that is not true.
Is that right?
That is not true. That's a lie. Every fuel that was given was budgeted in accordance with the law. That was not true. Absolutely not true.
So you're denying all these allegations made against you?
Which allegations? Which allegation in the first place?
Well, I mean, like I said, the issue of you interfering in the work of the committee.
No, that's not true. I said, I am telling you, excuse me, you don't need to ask me the question where I'm denying. I'm saying it's not true.
Okay.
It's not. Absolutely. Boncoms, not true.
What about the issue of allocating lands in the TDA?
That's the job of the GT board, not the ministry. We handed that response to the board. We don't have that time. All based or baseless. Absolutely. Boncoms.
Interesting. Let's now move to, I mean, your current portfolio as the Minister of Lands. I mean, since your appointment, what changes have you brought to the ministry?
Same. We have to reform. I'm a reformer. I was brought in to reform. And the reforms are moving. I think I've dealt with that enough for people. I've seen it in my last engagement on the Bantaba, on the Mansakunda.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you don't watch that, you've missed it. If you watched it, the information is there.
Yeah, because at that appearance, I mean, you made mention that, I mean, no foreigners should own a land in the Greater Banjul area.
No. I didn't say that.
Okay. You're
misquoting me again.
Okay. What did you say?
I said we should manage how people own land in this country. Okay. It cannot be carta balance. Everybody come and as you want, as you deem. No, it must be regulated. And now we are coming to that. The policy is getting ready, and it has addressed all these issues.
Why has it taken this country so long to have a land policy?
Well, we were not in government. Adama Barrow was not in government at the time. So we cannot talk about the 50-something years when Adama was not in government. We can only talk about when Adama was in government and decided that there has to be a policy to address the issues of land management and land usage in this country. That's under Adama Barrow's leadership. That's making it happen. Why it didn't happen in the past? We cannot answer that question because we were not in government.
So what does this policy seek to achieve at the end of the day? There are so many issues surrounding land.
The policy has a lot of objectives. It's a huge volume, a lot of ideas. I mean, and I think once again, I don't want to go back to that. We have talked much about it. I mean, in my last Mansakunda appearance. But if you listen to it, there are a lot of other issues that the policy is coming up with, and it will soon be a public document in the next 2-3 weeks. We are now just on the final stage to submit it to Cabinet for approval.
Interesting. And how soon are you going to
present it? The next 20 days, it should be before Cabinet. Maximum 2 weeks from now, it should be. Absolutely. The Gambians will be proud to say, here is a document we got that would guide us and help us the next 10 years, how we manage and use our land. That they will be proud of it. It's their document. It's one of the most widely consulted documents in this country. And everybody agrees with it, and everybody was involved. Everyone was involved in it. Visited villages, wards, constituencies, districts, and regions. Yes. So, and they participated, Gambians participated massively in it to determine how their land is used and managed in the future.
I mean, we have seen in the past, I mean, I know most of these problems might have arose before you were appointed as the Minister of Lands. I mean, physical planning, going around, demolishing certain structures and all those things.
Whatever we demolish under my watch is done within the law. And we will demolish again where the need arises. We will do so. The law must prevail. Nobody is above the law.
But most of these lands were sold to these people by the real estate.
That's what you say. That's what the view you hold. But whether that's the truth is a question.
Interesting. I mean, like I said, the issue of land in this country, land management and all those things are issues that people continue to cry about. I mean, you said whatever you did was within the laws.
If I have to demolish tomorrow, I will demolish. Yes, absolutely. There must be order in the country, in the sector rather. There must be order in the sector. People cannot take the law into their own hands, do whatever they want to do, and get away with it.
The other thing, I mean, like I said, I mean, you have served in government for many years. I mean, former Minister of Tourism, now Minister of Lands. I mean, there has been series of reports in the media, civil society about corruption in the government. Your name has always surfaced as being, I mean, one of those possibly allegedly the most corrupt, I mean, public official. Are you really corrupt?
That's a blatant lie. We are never corrupt. Absolutely not corrupt. You see, unfortunately in this country, we have an opposition driven by social media. The official opposition has gone weak. And the unofficial opposition, depending on speculative information, have always peddled up messages of corruption against public officials to the highest level in this country. They have not proven one case right since they started saying this. Tell me one case that they proved to be right in this country. That is not proven. It's an interim report they have submitted by Parliament. It's not ready in that investigation. It's an interim report. Tell me one.
But the National Assembly did their work and they came out with a report that has...
They came out with an interim report. With an interim report.
But aren't you worried with the findings, even though it's just a preliminary report?
Well, no. What findings?
That people came in here, they saw fuel, and then they left without paying taxes and all those things.
No. That is not correct. It is not the one who brings the fuel who pays the duty. It's the one who buys from the owner of the fuel that pays the duty. That's what you have to understand. You see, people must read to understand reports when they are presented, particularly in their parliament.
So are you saying the committee that was, overseeing this investigation didn't do their homework right?
I did not tell you that. You are the one saying that, not me.
I'm just asking you.
No.
Because they did their findings and they submitted a report to the plenary.
You are the one saying that. I didn't say that.
Okay.
They've done their report. They submitted to plenary. There's an interim report. And did you read the report in totality?
I read the report.
Okay, that's it. Then you now take what you have written, what you read. But I can tell you that in every system, there can be weaknesses, institutional weaknesses. You understand?
Okay.
But to say that they have found somebody corrupt, specifically mention that the X is corrupt with this evidence, I have not seen that in the report.
So you are not convinced?
No, not being convinced. It's not a question of whether I'm convinced or not. I'm not convinced. I'm saying I have not seen them anywhere with evidence saying Mr. X is corrupt and that's the evidence.
But we have people that have been mentioned by the report.
Mentioning somebody, you live in a sensational society where sensational stories what people peddle up with no evidence.
But in this case, one would have expected that the president would have put some of these people on administrative leave.
No, when the president has the facts before him, justified, irrefutable facts, he will act. He will act. Nobody loves the Gambia more than the president.
Really?
Of course. No one. He has the biggest responsibility in this country. He has a mandate. He's elected. He's entrusted the responsibility of running the affairs of the Gambia. So tell me who loves the Gambia more than him. After the sacrifice he made, the information he gave out to the Gambian people, the messages, they bought it, they accepted it, they gave him a mandate. Who loved the Gambia more than him? Tell me. People who live on speculative information, who peddle misinformation, disinformation.
But one will say he didn't fought that battle alone in 2016.
No, nobody is saying that. Who is saying that? You are saying that, not me.
No, but in the way you are saying he loved the country.
No, but he was the principal in that battle. He was general, followed by other general lieutenant. So please tell me. See, unfortunately, let me just tell you, Mr. Sise, when you have a weak official opposition, the unofficial, disjointed, disorganized opposition takes over. And when they take over, they don't narrate, they don't give out facts. They speculate. We are in social media today, where you can just sit here, throw a story, say all what you want to say. It's regrettable. When we were in parliament opposing the Jammeh regime, we were a minority. UDP had 7 MPs, 7 MPs. The NRP had 2, Doi had 1. All the rest were APRC. But I can tell you that we always hold them to ransom. We were doing our job. Then you have the UDP with the brains like Ibu Mane, Yaya Jallo, Madutal, a lot of them, preparing the UDP MPs for every debate that was going to happen on every issue. And Usainu Dabo being there, doing all this work for them. You have the Sidi Amankani, Abu Karamba Kasama, Buba Samora, Kemeseng Jammeh. Name them. They were always informed of issues to discuss in parliament. I'm coming, let me learn.
All right.
Then you have Sidia Jata there. That was prior to Khalifa coming to parliament. Sidia, the Poidiwais prepared him. Then you have me and my colleague, and what we did was we were well prepared for every issue, and we give out information, valid, correct, credible information in parliament. We took this government to task. It was not about the presidency of Yaya Jammeh alone. We were not interested only with the office of the president. We were interested as to the overall way that government was being run. And we took every ministry to task. Every director, every permanent secretary, every senior government official, we took them to task. And we shook the country. We had the power to do that because we had the information. We were prepared and ready for it. We were not depending on speculative information, allegations that were unfounded. No, we work on facts. And Jammeh knew, and Jammeh was so scared of the opposition at the time. He even wanted to dissolve parliament, but he didn't have the power then to dissolve parliament. So this is, excuse me, we have lost that today. We've lost that. The National Assembly, the opposition, official opposition in the Gambia only concentrate on Adama Barrow, president.
Yeah, but because he's the president.
No, but
because he's the president, Honorable.
That's where...
It's the same way. It's the same way you were also focusing on Jammeh.
No. We were on Jammeh's government. Excuse me. You're getting it wrong. We were on Yaya Jammeh's government. Here, everything is about Adama Barrow, presidency. Absolutely nothing to do with what's happening in other government of institutions. But because he's in charge, everything comes back to him as the president. Excuse me. Adama Barrow's office is one office out of many offices in the country.
But at the end of the day, everything, he's the president.
No, it's like as if this opposition is only interested in the presidency. Not the way of how government is run. Not to improve on how government is managing state resources and state affairs. Everything is Adama Barrow, presidency. Absolutely, that's where...
It's the same way. No, it's the same way because the president also takes credits for every positive thing that happens in this institution.
Excuse me, let me help you.
So the opposition...
that's why our system is weak. The opposition could do more. The official opposition I'm talking about. I'm not talking about those who are out of the system, who are not registered parties, who just wake up and form themselves in parties and calling themselves parties. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the official registered political parties in this country, and particularly those that are in parliament, in the National Assembly, who should focus on every aspect of government and to make sure that everything that happens in government at every level of government, they succeed in micromanaging the affairs of the government. You know how you do that? Let me help you. And this is where our democracy is really weakening. As an opposition member, you must make sure that when the president is taking a decision, when the minister is taking a decision, when the permanent secretary is taking a decision, when directors, deputy permanent, senior government officials are taking a decision, they will take into account what would be the reaction of the opposition into what I am doing.
Yeah.
When you do that, You, the opposition, you are influencing those in government to do right. Because they fear if they do it wrong, you are there to say, no, it's wrong. Cannot be this way. But if the opposition fail to influence policies and decision-making processes in a system of democracy, it's a failed opposition. I'm coming. It's a failed opposition.
Yes,
that is a failure. Yes. But you must know. Excuse me. Let me come. Final point. Okay. Final point.
Yeah.
As an opposition, you must make sure whatever they do, they think about your reaction. If they think about your reaction, they will always calculate how to do it better, how to do it right. But an opposition that is concentrated only on Adama Barrow and presidency.
Honorable, you are talking as if everything is okay within the government.
No, who said so? Am I saying so? No, that would be wrong to say. That would be wrong to say. How can I say that? That everything is okay?
Like I said earlier,
even in my home, things are not okay.
Like I said,
a whole government. I'm just telling you. In your home, it's not okay.
Definitely.
Yes, so.
You denied you are not corrupt. Are you willing and ready to declare your asset if you were asked?
My assets are declared. That's done. With the ombudsman. That's done, my friend. You're sleeping.
We have seen the emergence of GALA, that's Gambians Against Looted Assets. I mean, we have seen, I mean, they've organized two protests, I mean, in relation to the Janneh Commission and other issues. But, I mean, we will go with a short break, and when we return, we will take a look at the GALA issue. Well, viewers, you're watching QTV, and this is State of Affairs program. Do join us shortly after this commercial break, and when we return, discussion continues. Do stay tuned.
Welcome to IHT Gambia, your gateway to world-class IT education and hands-on training. At IHT, choose from diploma programs tailored to today's in-demand tech fields, Introduction to IT, Database Administration with Data Analytics, Advanced Software Development, Cybersecurity, Multimedia, Graphic Design and Digital Marketing. AI and Machine Learning, Cisco Certified Network Associate, CCNA, Master Industry Leading Tools and Languages, Python, Java, Oracle, Cisco, Microsoft Visual Studio, and more to gain real-world skills that top employers seek. And right now, enjoy special discounts of $4,000 to $10,000 depending on your chosen program. Visit us at 55 Karoba Avenue, Fejora, Kanefin Municipality. Call 3464161 4526974 6311320 or learn more at ihtgambia.gm. IHT Gambia, connecting talent to opportunity.
Hello viewers, welcome back from that short break. You are watching QTV and this is your weekly State of Affairs program. My name is Aliou Cisse and my guest this week is Honorable Hamad Nkeba, the Gambia's Minister of Lands, Local Government and Religious Affairs. Honorable, I was thinking about the issue of the GALA. I know you've been following the protests that they've been organizing, asking for more transparency and accountability in the manner in which the Janneh Commission was held. I mean, the buyers are not known and even the value at which, I mean, some of these assets were sold. As a Gambian, what was your first reaction when you saw that list published and you look at the value of some of these assets?
No, let me just put it this way. I think, again, that's where I said speculative information. I'm coming. Allow me to come. Okay. When these assets were valued, when the receiver was disposing, he revalued them again. Go and check the records. The facts are there. And the assembly is investigating, they will tell you. If this was valued 10, before he sells it, he revalues them. Okay? Except where explicitly the commission made recommendation and said, this asset, let them be sold to persons from whom Jammeh bought them from the same price as he bought them from. It's written, black and white. The commission made that recommendation. There are a few assets that the commission said, look, these ones, exactly what Jammeh paid, give it back to those that he will let them repurchase it from there. And this was misconstrued by the reporter to say it was bought and sold at that price. That's why I'm saying so much of speculative.
So do you agree with all the prices that some of the assets were
No,
sold?
I cannot be agree with. How can I agree with price? How can I agree with prices? All the prices. I'm just telling you that the misinformation there is too much. There are people that Jammeh bought properties from. The commission made recommendation to say these properties, X, Y, and Z, PQ, give them back to the former owners at the same price that Jammeh bought it from. That is clear. And I know that 99% of all the property were disposed by the receiver. Listen to me. I'm talking about the receiver, not before the commission came in.
Okay.
Those properties, the receiver revalued them and sold them on auction, on tender. On tender. Just to tell you that. So these things that people are talking, misinforming, it's a very bad thing. People should go and read the white paper. They should read the report and they form an opinion. Not based on social media, speculative, bad journalism to bring cognition. I mean, how can you say asset that we are said? This one, don't sell it more than what it was bought from and give it back to the owner, to the former owner. Let him buy the same price. You better look at the report before you write.
But I know the reporter must have done
No, I'm just telling you this. And did you know this?
Are you among the buyers?
Did you? Who? Never. I want nothing from Jammeh. Absolute nothing. Let me repeat that. Nothing from that guy. Let me just tell you this. You also read the report, where the report said this particular property, it was bought at this price, but return it back if the person is willing to buy, give him the right to buy first at the same price it was bought from him. Before you write the report to say it was bought and sold at that, you go and check the report. Check the white paper. Don't misinform the public.
But Honorable, many believe that was a thorough investigation by the
excuse me, I'm now telling you the truth. Go and read the report.
But I mean,
excuse me, the report is there. Go and read it.
But the investigation piece also was a detailed story done by with evidence.
I'm saying the report is there. Read it. Go to the Attorney General Chambers tomorrow. They'll give it to you.
Yeah, but how can we trust that report when actually even the list that was shared with the public turned out to be not actually the actual list of buyers?
This is the GALA Commission, not
in fact,
me.
some of them are said to be ghost buyers.
Excuse me.
The actual names of the buyers wasn't mentioned in the list.
Excuse me. Can I come in?
Yeah.
The GALA report wrote this. It's not somebody else writing it, saying it. It's not anybody. The GALA report wrote this.
The GALA Commission did that, but right as we speak, there's another special committee of the National Assembly investigating the GALA Commission. Are you surprised with the evidence?
I am not, excuse me, I'm not disputing that there is a commission of inquiry. Okay. What I'm saying, that some of the things that people are talking about is all bogus and buncoms. It's not true. It's a lie. It was done based on the recommendation of the GALA Commission.
But what I don't understand, Honorable, you want us to accept what you are saying, but you don't want us to believe in the investigative piece
I'm not
done
saying
by the
let's
Republic.
wait until it's too early to preempt them. Let them. I'm not saying that what they are doing is wrong. No. I'm not saying that it's full of whatever. No, I'm saying that some of the misinformation that was carried in that journalistic report could have been avoided if they are properly read the GALA Commission report. That's a fact.
But I mean,
this is a fact.
Most of the details in that report,
yes,
we are taking from the GALA Commission
I am
files.
saying now, some of the things that was written in that journalistic report did not capture exactly what the GALA report said about those properties. And that's a fact.
How did you know this?
I read it. I read the GALA report in cabinet, the white paper. I was sitting there.
But that is what was presented to the cabinet.
That's what I read is what every Gambian read. It's there. Go to the internet. This is everywhere. Go and check the GALA report. It's there.
But Honorable, I mean...
No, I can mention even properties, but I don't want to mention their names. That Jammeh bought it from them, say return it the same price it was bought. Yes, please, let's move. Time is going. Move on. We have a lot of things to discuss.
I know, because
We have a lot of things to discuss. Move on.
I know, because this is quite very important. When the report was out, you threatened that you were going to...
because... Excuse me.
Take a legal action against the reporter. Have you filed a lawsuit?
Excuse me. No. Thousands of people prevailed on me not. And I conceded. Yes. Not. But I was ready to move on.
Or maybe perhaps, you have no case against the reporter?
Of course I had a case. I have never bought anything of Jammeh. And I don't even want it. Even for gift, I don't want it.
You were a key architect of the coalition 2016, which actually fought against what you described at the time as self-perpetuating by the then president. Now election is coming up 2026. Are you supporting President Barrow's bid for a third term?
Yes, I am.
Why?
I believe in it.
Who am I speaking to? Is it the same Ahmad Ba?
The same Ahmad Ba you're speaking to, yes. Tell me why.
Why? You were the man who was advocating for term limits.
Exactly.
You said Jammeh overstayed.
Yes.
What has changed?
Excuse me. It's good to ask me that question. You see, governance, democracy, government generally, what we expect from them is results. Right or wrong? People expect results.
Okay.
We expect results. Look at the track record of Adama Barrow. Are you listening to me? Adama Barrow came into power when we have virtually empty treasurers. Our treasury was virtually empty. Everything was in shambles. That would have taken any other person 3-4 years to rebuild. Within 1 year, the coalition government was in a move to start moving. In 2 years, 3 years, we started our infrastructural development. And today, the amount of roads we built in these last 8 years was not built in 50 years. The amount of electricity distribution in this country, what we did, was not done in 50 years. The amount of health facilities we created and other related health services was not done in 50 years. The amount of schools and schools infrastructure and other related services we brought in and created and built was not in this country for the last 50 years. What we did in 7 years, 8 years was more than what was did in 50 years in all these areas. And let me tell you, democracy development is not only about infrastructure. When you're developing country, you have to develop in all aspects. People must feel that they have the freedom, the liberty. They enjoy the dividends of democracy by having their freedom, their liberty to exercise their rights. And today, Gambians are exercising their right freely. They're exercising it at liberty, without fear of being persecuted.
But that's a fundamental right.
I'm coming. The fundamental right has always been here. Was it enjoyed? No. It was not enjoyed, even though it was here. I will tell you, today, Gambians are living in an atmosphere of peace, and they are understanding their rights, they are exercising their rights. I'll give you one typical example that touched me a lot as I'm in office. And I think we need to appreciate this. You don't measure development only by the skyscrapers, by the roads, hospitals that you build. You measure development as people's happiness, their welfare. I'm coming. Let me learn.
Yeah, I know.
I want to give this story. I want to give you.
No, but I know if you have to allow stories here.
Excuse me. I want to give you this story. Wait, let me come to show you how we have developed under this government. There is this woman who sells ice water in the market. She went to a particular alcalo, bought a property. And the alcalo, for some reason, wanted to frustrate this woman, poor woman from nowhere, who has been saving money until she got 8,000-9,000, went to buy a plot of land. This is our democracy. This woman came to the Ministry of Lands, where this woman was able to summons the chief, summons the alcalde to the ministry and got justice. Is that not development? Is that not progress in our democracy? I answer my question. Because this government have made that possible for our people to enjoy their democracy. Tell me, is that not advancement? Is that not development?
What do you say about the $1 million nomination fee in the new electoral laws?
Let me just tell you this. I will give you back to history.
Honorable, you know,
I'm coming. In 1996, I'm coming.
If you have to allow history here,
allow me. I'm answering your question.
Yes.
I'm answering your question.
This is something you were against during Ghana's time.
Question.
$1 million.
In 1996, let me just tell you, I'm giving you history. When I came running into office, I criticized the deposit. You know what Sekou Sanyang said then? He said democracy is expensive. If you cannot afford it, go out. In 2015, in the political reform, when Jammeh came with these increases, they wanted to block us for the 50,000. They paid the 5,000, and they said if you don't pay the 50, you go out. We went and we paid the 50, and we won the by-elections. Listen, when I watched the number of candidates that were presenting themselves in 2021, I felt it's high time we try to draw a limit as to how much people should deposit. And go to next door, other countries around here. Go and check how much they are depositing. Nothing less than 100,000 US dollars for a candidate to run as a president. Now, if you put this as where it was, you think the IEC can handle 50 candidates for elections with our current electoral system, voting system? We have to put a limit to manage it. We are not depriving people. We are making sure that we have a system that we can manage. If IEC to have 100 registered candidates, how can they manage that in any elections? Or even 50 candidates, can they manage that? Democracy is not cheap anywhere in the world. You know that. Please.
And away from that, I mean,
you're telling about GALA? GALA? You talk to me about GALA.
Yes.
Let me hit GALA. Can I come to GALA?
No, you can hit them in just response to their call.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Because, I mean, I want also...
Excuse me.
In the final part of the program, I want us to come back to your ministry and discuss some issues.
Excuse me, I'm coming. Yeah. Let me come. GALA, they are Gambian citizens. They have the right to demonstrate. Demonstration is part of any democracy in the world. They have a right to demonstrate, and they will demonstrate as long as they have the permit, they are within the law, they are doing the right thing. It's a component of democracy for people to manifest and to demonstrate. I have no problem with that. And I think this government have no problem with GALA having demonstration, expressing their views of what they want to say and how they want to say it. That's part of our democracy. Why should the issue of GALA be a problem for anybody in this country? Why? They are Gambians. They have a right to demonstrate, but they have to be within the rule of law because nobody is above the law. It's part of our democracy. That's part of the freedom that we have achieved. That's part of the dividends of democracy that this government has brought to the people of the Gambia. The right to be heard. Yes, and that's what GALA is doing. You don't speculate. Don't go on speculating. Bring facts before the people. They have issues to raise. Let them raise it. We will listen. This is how we can work together.
Interesting. Let's now come back to your ministry and just look at some critical issues, because I know, I mean, you have not been on the program for the past, 4 years. When you look at the developments that are happening within the country, what mechanisms are in place to ensure, these developments actually, are balanced with infrastructure and the environmental capacity?
Very important. Our environment is very key. And that's why when I came into the ministry, the issue of the wetland, the protected wetland, became an issue for me. Because we must preserve the environment. That is key for our survival. And if you don't preserve the environment, then at the end of the day, you are nowhere. And that's why we came in to really try to regularize that. The Tambi wetland is key to this government. the convention that we signed as a country, we have to respect them. And that's why this government is focusing right now in trying to even rebuild this country by trying to reforest our environment, green it again, have a program to rebuild our forest cover, which has been depleted. We are taking measures to protect our environment as a government. We are a responsible government. Yes.
And in terms of, permits, building permits, how much are you really serious about?
Let me tell you this, when the policy is in place, everything will be digitalized. Even your lease in 3-4 days, you can get it. We want to scrap all this bureaucracy, all these connected things that are there, that are unacceptable, will be over.
Including transfer of
everything
land document
will
by
be
alcalos,
digitalized.
who
Everything
will
be digitalized because we're going to amend the laws. Of course it will be digital. We cannot live like this, man. Old age, people have to move on. And we have to move with technology.
At some point, you mentioned about the issue of, governments having a project to build affordable housing estate.
Oh, yeah, we are in the process. We are in the process. Absolutely. We are on course.
Has a site been identified for this project?
Well, we are not, I cannot say specifically site, but I think investors are moving on to that. Yes, we are on course.
And how many housings are you targeting?
It depends. A lot of approaches. A lot of people have come in and approached us. So we are trying to see who can do what, where, and when. That's what we're doing.
And in terms of regulating the real estate agencies?
Fantastic. The regulation, we've gone halfway in drafting them. Absolutely. They will be dealt with. Oh, yes. The first draft is ready. Because we have to do a lot of comparison from other countries.
What about the issue of zoning? Because I know in certain countries there is a zoning where you have the residential area, the commercial area.
It's now in the policy. But it's in the policy. In fact, I'll send you a copy of the policy, soft copy. You read it. You cannot even wait to have it until when it's completed. It's ready. Absolutely. It's done. This is the most widely consulted document, one of the most widely consulted documents in this country. Yes. That Gambians participated massively and expect it to be done. They are part of it. They will make sure that this is done. It's not about Ahmad Ba or Adam Barrow. It's about the Gambian people who said, we want this. And Adam Barrow said, we must produce it. And we have now produced it for the people of this country.
I know we have received report of some certain unregulated construction along that channel from Latrikunda going through Manjai, from Abuko. Are you aware of this?
We had our last meeting was year before yesterday. Sorry, it was last week. We had a meeting with the World Bank with this Waka project. We own it 100%. And the only sad thing is the compensation. Government is going to do the compensation, and the bill is increasing with the number of people who need to be evicted and be removed, and they who need to be compensated. The amount have grown big. But as a government, we'll assume our responsibility to make sure the project is implemented. Absolutely.
Diaspora voting was brought in the electoral bill. Your members voted against
I think, to tell you the truth, it's a missed opportunity for the Gambia. I must say this. Our last election, the last election bill would have solved this problem easily. I think what we needed to do is to look at our voting system. Number two, to look at our electoral system. If we had adopted proportional system of voting and representation, even 50%, first past the post, 50% proportional would have solved our problem. The diasporan would have been able to vote without any problem. Because then the issue of who votes, who doesn't vote, the constituency would have been out. Unfortunately, we decided to maintain the Westminster system of voting. And that restricts, in the exception of presidential election, it restricts other elections for diaspora. Because you cannot vote every constituency in all over the world. I mean, as you do it here. It's not possible to do that. But if it was the system proportional representation, then that would have solved our problem.
When do you think you will retire from public office?
Very soon. Sooner. I want to take a break and go and look after my cattle. They are dying. I'm losing them a lot.
2026 is fast approaching election year. 2026, what will be your message to both, supporters of the NPP-led coalition and the opposition?
Let me tell you, I'm worried about the way we are managing our politics in this country. The language is very bad. The insult and abuse is too much. As if we are not one country, as if we are not a united people, as if we are not one nation. I think we have to modify our language. We have to modify the way we talk. We have to modify the way we do our politics. At the end of the day, God has chosen his leaders. God has chosen those who are going to be there. The rancor, the insult, the abuse is too much. And I think we need to go back to the drawing board as a country and say, look, we are all the same. We are all brothers and sisters. We live in the same country. We all have the same objective of moving our country forward. Let's not bring this bad attitude, bad utterances in our politics. Let's respect ourselves. We're either Muslims or Christians. We believe in God. And I think the way we are politicking, the way we are abusing each other, the way we are insulting is uncalled for. I think we need to modify the way we do our politics. Politics is about winning the mind of people. And you cannot win them by insult and abuse. You have to win them by ideas, policies and programs. And I think that's what we need to go back to the drawing board. We are going to a level where we should never have tried even to come close to. We should respect each other. We should go back to the old days of politics, where we talk about our policies, we make jokes, and not insult and abuses. It cannot win you votes. And unfortunately, it has infested the polity in the country. And we must try to manage the polity to the extent that everybody will feel comfortable to join the fray. It is scaring our women. It's scaring some dignified Gambians from coming into the system, into the arena. Our language must be modified. And we must go back to the drawing board and say, no, we don't want to do it this way. Let's do it right.
Thank you so much, Honorable Hamad Nkeba. Our language must be modified as we approach, 2026 presidential election. Thank you so much, Honorable, once again for agreeing to come on the program. I know it's not easy to get you out, at this time of the night to come for a TV interview. Thank you so much once again. I'm quite honored, for your time.
Thank you. The program is too short. Yeah. I thought it was 2 hours. 1 hour is too short.
Unfortunately, it's 1 hour, but
yeah.
we hope to have you once again on the program.
Thank you.
Viewers, with that, we bring an end to this week's edition of your weekly State of Affairs program. Do join us next week. Until then, bye-bye from me, Aliu Sise, and the entire team here.
Welcome to IHT Gambia, your gateway to world-class IT education and hands-on training. At IHT, choose from diploma programs tailored to today's in-demand tech fields, introduction to IT, database administration with data analytics, advanced software development, cybersecurity, multimedia, graphic design and digital marketing. AI and machine learning, Cisco Certified Network Associate, CCNA, Master industry-leading tools and languages, Python, Java, Oracle, Cisco, Microsoft Visual Studio, and more to gain real-world skills that top employers seek. And right now, enjoy special discounts of $4,000 to $10,000, depending on your chosen program. Visit us at 55 Karoba Avenue, Fejora, Kanefin Municipality. Call 3464161. For 526-974, 6311320, or learn more at ihtgambia.gm. IHT Gambia, connecting talent to opportunity.